We've talked on the YouTube channel on a number of occasions, guys, about the Ninja Gaiden franchise, and in particular, the future here, because we haven't seen a continuation of this franchise in quite some time. It reminds me of Crisis, a franchise that, started off and was started by a company that basically took the name Crytek and they created Crisis, right? Well, now with Ninja Gaiden, you have Team Ninja that's created this franchise, similar in nature, not to Crisis necessarily, but just, similar to that of Crytek, right? They two different companies that are, basically known for one game in particular, and it seems like they've almost given up on those franchises in a figurative standpoint here, guys. I'm not saying that they're totally getting away from Crisis, because obviously Crisis Remastered's coming out, and who knows, maybe a continuation is coming with Crisis as well. But with Ninja Gaiden, it feels like Team Ninja has stated that they want to make a continuation here. They're just kind of waiting for the right time, which is interesting, and I'm down to wait as long as they are working on it at some point, because I think that it's important that this franchise does continue. So, in this segment of the show, guys, I want to talk about Ninja Gaiden 4 and why it should exist. So let's get into it. So a number of things here, guys. Ninja Gaiden, whether you liked the third game, the last game within the franchise so far that we've had at this point, or you didn't like it. If you liked the first couple of games more, or whatever it might be, I've liked all of the games up to this point for the most part. I mean, I've enjoyed them for what they are, guys, right? I mean, they're just like a hack and slash franchise, and it's a lot of fun, right? For me, though, with Ninja Gaiden 4, this could really lead us into the next generation of consoles. And I think that people who didn't get an opportunity really to put a lot of time into the other Ninja Gaiden games, this would give them that opportunity. And I think that there's ways that Team Ninja can obviously expand this world, expand the thinking around it, and kind of move it into the next generation of consoles with better graphics. You could even have with story and all of those things. A lot of the things that you want within Ninja Gaiden, could really come to fruition. Now, what I will say about it is, one thing that I think a lot of people have been mentioning to me is the what ifs. What if Ninja Gaiden takes a direction like God of War did? They totally changed up overall the mechanics in the gameplay to, the new PlayStation game that came out from Sony Santa Monica, God of War, and we're probably going to be getting a continuation of that, but they took a chance there, and it really paid off. Now, if Team Ninja did that with Ninja Gaiden, I would be totally open to see what they could come up with. Look, we know Ninja Gaiden for what it is, but for a lot of people out there, and some of you might feel the same way, they didn't like Ninja Gaiden 3. A lot of people just didn't enjoy it that much, and so maybe it's time that you kind of leave that trilogy, the core trilogy, together, and then you start a soft reboot, or you kind of change the formula a little bit. Why this game should exist, guys, is because this has become a staple in gaming, whether people want to admit it or not. Look, Ryu Hayabusa being one of the most iconic characters in all of gaming, guys, at the end of the day, I just think that we've seen him, his character in like the Dead or Alive series and all of that, but it's not the same when we look at, Ninja Gaiden. We want to see that continuation. We want to see what happens in the story, the further evolution. And I want to see, more than anything, Team Ninja continue to expand upon what their thinking was with the first, games that they made in this franchise. I want to see a more expanded story. I want to see multiplayer elements. I want to see co-op elements. I want to see ways in which we can connect with this series and this game, Ninja Gaiden 4 in particular, more than we ever have in the past. And so why I think it should exist is another reason on top of all of that, guys, is that this would continue the legacy. It would continue the lore, the story of what Ninja Gaiden is all about. And I would love to see it, guys. I mean, look, you could add new combos. You could add so many different things to this franchise that I think could really make it another staple in, the next generation of consoles. I think it could really make its mark. And I would love to see that continuation. I know a lot of you out there would also like to see the continuation. At this point in time, guys, it sounds like Team Ninja is absolutely talking. The rumblings are happening, guys. They may already be in development for Ninja Gaiden 4. But I think that maybe taking some more chances on this game is something that Team Ninja needs to do in order for this franchise to evolve in a way that's going to grow it significantly. Now, look, we all know that some of these games that are more meant for mature audiences don't have huge expanded, amounts of like community. But at the same time, games like The Last of Us, just for example, guys, has a massive community, and that's a pretty gritty, dark story. So what I'm getting at here is that Ninja Gaiden, even though it's gory, even though it's got all of the, a lot of things within it that are meant for mature audiences, there are people that would be willing to play something like this moving into the next generation of consoles, the upgraded graphics, the expansion on the lore in that story and all of that, guys. I would just love it. I would love to see maybe something kind of similar to God of War, where you made it more of an open world. You kind of changed some of the things in Ninja Gaiden, some of those gameplay, some of those core, mechanics and such. You don't get totally away from it, but you change things in a way that keeps it fresh, keeps you coming back to the game and to the franchise. I think you could really change it up. And I think Team Ninja, this being the game that kind of started their legacy as a company, I do believe they need to move forward with Ninja Gaiden 4 if they aren't already. Let me know though, guys, in the comment section below, do you want to see Ninja Gaiden 4? And do you think it should exist or you think it shouldn't exist? Let me know, and for more Ninja Gaiden 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.